Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to grow Anemone Coronaria. I've seen a lot of videos online talking about starting Anemone Coronaria corms, but it's very seldom that you actually see that, come to hey, here's the flower, it worked out. And there seems to be a lot of misleading information, so I thought I would take the chance to show you guys what I do so you can have the best chance of having a successful crop or a successful planting of Anemone Coronaria flowers in your landscape or in your cut flower garden, for arrangements and bouquets and things like that. So let's talk about it, I guess. First and foremost, the first thing you're going to want to do is you want to make sure that you're planting at the correct time. In general, I think most packets say that Anemone Coronaria are hardy to zone 8. I'm actually in zone 6B/7 here where I am. But the thing about it is, in the springtime, I have a very, very short period of cool spring weather. It gets hot really fast here. Anemone Coronaria do not like hot temperatures, so that's just a bummer, right? If you live further north or in a cooler climate that has mild summers, you might be able to grow Anemone Coronaria in the spring. In fact, that's why I kind of get irritated, is because I see it sold locally where I am in stores in the spring when it doesn't do well. No matter how well you plan and grow it, it just doesn't do well in the spring where I live. For me, the only option is to start these corms in the fall and help them along over winter in a low tunnel or in an unheated hoop house. Of course, if you are a home gardener, don't get discouraged. You always have the option of trying, different things, different mini greenhouses. You could plant a small planting of Anemone Coronaria in the ground and secure some plastic over it, or secure just a milk jug top over it, and try to overwinter these things on a small scale. I've personally never done that. Maybe that's an experiment that I could do in the future. I've personally never done it, but I've heard people have pretty good success with that. If you don't mind, the milk jugs or the plastic in your yard, I've heard people have good success with that. Anyway, to get these corms started, the first thing we are going to do is soak them in water for about 4 to 6 hours. Some people choose to aerate the water with like a fish tank bubbler or some other means. I've done that before in the past. It works fine. And I've also soaked them without a fish tank bubbler, and it works fine too, as long as you keep an eye on them. You do not want to soak these for more than about, I would say 6 hours. I personally don't soak them for longer than 6 hours, especially since these need kind of cooler temperatures to begin the growth process. The combination of too wet and too cold is just the right combination for just rot. And Anemone Coronaria corms are really prone to rot, so we want to avoid that the best we can. So our goal is to kind of rehydrate these and wake these up and get them ready to grow, but not overdo it to the point where they turn to mush, because they will. It's gross. Trust me. I know from experience. Once these have soaked for about 4 to 6 hours, 6 hours at the most, I would say, all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a seed tray and I'm going to fill that with a potting mix that is somewhat moist. I'm sure you can use a seed starting mix. I'm sure there are other ways that actual professional growers start to sprout these. I just personally don't do it that way. This is just how I do it, because this is for my small little backyard garden. After I have arranged these anemone corms into the seed tray, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit more potting soil and I'm going to sprinkle it over the top and cover those up a little bit. It doesn't have to be deep or anything like that. These corms, essentially, they look like little rocks, so you don't have to worry about which side's up or which side's down. When they begin to grow, roots will come from pretty much any angle, every direction of the corm and go up, so you don't have to, put too much thought into how you're going to plant these things. After I've covered the tray with soil, I'm going to move it outside. As I mentioned, I'm planting in the fall here in my zone, and for me personally, the beginning of October is the perfect weather for these corms to start to grow. Ideally, I'm looking for temperatures that are about 60 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit during the day and about 40 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit at night. And a variation in temperatures really does help them grow the quickest and get a really successful rate of growth for these. As I mentioned, you'll of course want to watch them and make sure they're not getting too wet. You might have to move them to a sheltered location if they're getting too wet or too cold. They will rot. As soon as you see the growth, you can move them into their final location and get your hoop house ready, or your low tunnel, or whatever you're going to use, and you should be good to go for the rest of the season. I hope this video was somehow helpful. I'm not quite sure if it was. If you have any questions or if you have any experiences, put them down in the comments below. I always love to hear from people. I'm always looking to learn something new too. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell icon. It will tell you whenever I make new videos. I'm doing my best to make new content all the time. It could be gardening, it could be cut flower farming, it could be soap making, it really could be just a surprise. So if you like surprises, you might like this channel too. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I don't think it's going to happen, but we can try our best. And I hope y'all are having such an amazing day. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye guys.